The creators of what's hands down the most successful arena shooter out there today, Hi-Rez Studios, recently announced that they are making a sequel to their other beloved and clear frontrunner in its respective genre, Smite. But is Smite 2 just another cash grab that doesn't really change a lot besides graphical fidelity and doesn't really warrant a sequel-type scheme that we've seen trending in recent years from the gaming world? Will it revive a relatively small game with a dedicated fan base that may not have ever been anything big to begin with? Will longtime supporters of the first title get to keep all their hard-earned and paid for cosmetics? Let's talk about it. Ever heard of a game called Smite? I wouldn't judge you if you said you've never heard of it or at least never played it. It's a MOBA, like League of Legends, but unlike League of Legends, instead of a top-down perspective of the battlefield, you get a third-person perspective, and instead of champions, you get gods, like Ares, the god of war from the Greek pantheon, or Chak, the god of thunder, lightning, and rain from the Mayan pantheon. Now, if you don't know me, my name is Lank, and I'm a gamer. I'm some ordinary gamer. Maybe I'm like you. I've been gaming my whole life. I love video games. I love different genres of video games, a whole mess of different genres of video games. If you've seen my page before, you probably know that's true. So what I'm going to try and do is break things down that are going on in the industry for us ordinary gamers. It is 2024, and one of my goals this year is making more YouTube content, so consider hitting that sub button if you're new here, and leaving a thumbs up if you enjoy the video. Personally, I love Smite. I have about 2,000 hours in the game, and most of those are coming from the Xbox version of the game. See, Smite came out in 2014, and I was just getting started in PC gaming. I didn't have a great PC. I was still in college playing League of Legends, because that was probably like one of the only games that my PC could run. When I heard about this really cool game that was like League of Legends, it was a MOBA, but instead of the champions in League of Legends, you got to play gods from different pantheons. It was super cool. I loved that idea. I was always kind of obsessed with mythology and different pantheons of gods, so I had to try it. But it wasn't until 2015 till the game came out on consoles, and back then I mainly played video games on Xbox with all my buddies on Xbox Live, and we absolutely loved this game. We put a ton of hours into it, a lot of fun was had, a lot of angry moments were had. It was a great time for the most part. So I am pretty fond of Smite. In some aspects, in my opinion, it's an underrated game. Also, unlike League of Legends, instead of clicking something and having your character automatically shoot it or attack it, you actually have to land skill shots. It takes a little bit of aiming, not a whole lot, but a little bit. And for me, who can't get a damn last click on a minion to save his life, that was pretty cool. I liked that. Not only that, but it felt like they put in really detailed and hard work into some of their character models, the skins that they would come out with. I know a lot of days now there's a lot of complaining about cosmetics and microtransactions and stuff like that, but it really felt like Hi-Rez and Smite made it worth it to purchase a cosmetic or something like that. Just the level of detail and the cool concepts they would put into the skin, and not to mention the voice acting. They hire recognizable voice actors from dubbed anime, and it's just the coolest thing to be like, oh, I know that voice, that's from so-and-so. It felt like they really cared about what went into their game. So obviously a game like League of Legends is way bigger than Smite, but I still think Smite is such a great game. Now in 2024, 10 years after Smite came out, Hi-Rez announced Smite 2. And then this is something that I did not have on my 2024 bingo card. So what is Smite 2 exactly? Let's get into the minutia of it. According to the game's website, Smite 2 is the next step in Smite's journey and was designed with one goal in mind: to recreate the Smite that people love, except better in every single way. That's a pretty bold claim, but given that this game is a direct sequel and basically just an upgrade, makes sense. It better be pretty much better in every single way. As stated previously, Smite has been out for 10 years, and it's been on the same engine, Unreal Engine 3, for its duration. The devs are basically saying in order to keep pushing Smite forward and keep upgrading it, they need to move to the latest Unreal Engine, which is Unreal Engine 5, in order to do so. This right here is the main reason for Smite 2 even existing. In order for them to keep upgrading and enhancing the Smite experience, they have no choice but to get on to the latest engine. They can keep upgrading and adding on top of original Smite, Unreal Engine 3, but as I understand it, it's a hard thing to do when the foundations become weaker and weaker. Now, does this justify them releasing an entirely different game? A sequel? I'm not sure on that one. The OG Smite will still be up and running for the foreseeable future alongside Smite 2, according to the devs. However, graphics aren't the only thing being upgraded in Smite 2. Smite 2 has been rebuilt from the ground up with redefined gameplay mechanics, movement, abilities, everything. New audio design, new VFX, etc. We took everything from Smite that people loved and upgraded it for Smite 2. They also claim that these are the two major points. However, there's a lot more that's going to be revealed in the coming months, and I look forward to hearing what else is going to be different? The main concern that I personally have for Smite 2 is the cosmetics and purchasable items that I had in Smite 1. Will they be transferring over like Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2 did? Well, according to the website, most Smite 1 content will not directly transfer to Smite 2, but Smite players will be rewarded for their time, money, and achievements through 2 new systems, Legacy Gems and Divine Legacy. In addition, new skins added to Smite 1 in year 11, along with some limited other cross-gen skins, will transfer between the games. Now, people have made the argument that we should not expect to get our cosmetics from one game to another. However, this isn't really a traditional sequel, it's more of a revamp, an upgrade, an enhancement, kind of like Overwatch 1 to 2, if you can call that an upgrade. So I think that it makes sense that people would expect to get all their cosmetics to the next game. However, their reasoning for not transferring over all the cosmetics makes a lot of sense.
When it comes to porting over those skins, you guys decided that you could not do that. Could you guys maybe explain for someone like myself and a casual, like what is the difficulty of, or what's the explanation of why that choice was made, and then what's the partial resolve you guys put out?
Yeah, so Smite's been around for 10 years. You know, we spent 10 years making about 1,600 skins, I think there are in Smite, which is a lot of skins. UE3 and UE5 are fundamentally different engines. And it's not just, oh, it's a better version. People think that, oh, 3, 4, 5, it must be connected. The way that they approach things technically are completely different. So the way that you create a material, like the texture on a model, the way that the effects system works, everything is completely different. So we can't just copy paste a skin from Smite 1 to Smite 2. For a normal skin, not a tier 5 that is a fancy evolving skin, if you're not familiar with Smite's tier system, which is silly, it takes about 8 weeks to get a skin from Smite 1 to Smite 2 of actual, like a person working for 8 weeks. And with 1,600 skins, we did the math and it was like 240 person years or something if we're trying to get all the skins over from Smite 1 to Smite 2. And we were like, geez, if we're trying to do that, we wouldn't have the time and the capability to make Smite 2 as awesome as we knew it could be on the gameplay side, because all of our resources would just be going towards, well, we got to port all these skins. So we put a lot of thought into how do we make players feel rewarded and like we're giving them their money that they spent in Smite 2, but in a way that, you know, will let our development team be able to make the amazing game that they really want and have the time to do that.
That right there, that makes sense. Shout out to Jake Sucky over on Twitter for asking the real hard-hitting questions for us scrubs who don't know what the hell we're talking about. However, the thing that really concerns me is this from their website. For every gem that you've ever spent in Smite 1, free or purchased, you'll receive a Legacy Gem in Smite 2. Legacy Gems can be used to pay for 50% off the price of most game purchases in Smite. So things like skins, battle passes, and events in Smite 2 will be half off until you spend all of your Legacy Gems. Now, I could be just complaining, but half off kind of seems like a scam. I could be wrong. You can let me know in the comments below. On top of Legacy Gems, they're giving us Divine Legacy. What is Divine Legacy, you ask? The Divine Legacy is a new event in Smite 1 designed to reward you for your progress and achievements over each year of Smite's history. We've tracked the gods you've mastered, the ranked matches you've lost. Why don't they? What about the ones that I've won? The skins you've unlocked, and the match hours you've played. You earn points for your progress in each year, and points are tallied together to give you rewards. That right there puts my mind a little at ease. It makes sense. They're going to give us rewards for playing Smite 1, which is really cool of them. However, I mean, they still have to pay the bills with the new cosmetics that they put out. So I guess I can give them some sort of pass. Again, what do you guys think about this whole system? Let me know. Comments below. So what do you guys think? Is Smite 2 a cash grab? Is it a PR stunt to get people back into the game or into the game for the first time? Or is it something more than that? Does the move to Unreal Engine 5 really truly warrant making a sequel? Could they have just updated Smite to Unreal Engine 5 without making it a sequel? How do you guys feel about Legacy Gems and the fact that people are only going to get 50% off some skins in Smite 2 and not get all of their skins from Smite 1? I personally think that it makes sense moving to Unreal Engine 5, and I guess calling it Smite 2, yeah, calling it Smite 2 is kind of like a PR grab or or I guess a cash grab, if you could call it that. And it does kind of make sense that the manpower and hours required to port all of those cosmetics and skins over to Smite 2 from Smite 1 would just be unfeasible. But I really do hope that the legacy gems and everything like that works out in favor of the players and we get what we've earned. I've seen some arguments online saying that there's no way we should expect to get all our cosmetics from one game to another game. But I don't think that argument holds a lot of water, considering that there has to be a significant difference from one game to the next in order to warrant it being a true sequel and not getting all our cosmetics from one to another. Overwatch 2 is a perfect example of this. It's pretty much the same game, a little bit of tweaks to it, but you're damn right, we better get all our cosmetics from Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2. So I don't know if that argument holds a lot of water, considering there's not a huge difference as far as mechanics or gameplay or anything like that from Smite 1 to 2 besides the engine and just not being able to port all over those skins. People defending that move are kind of weird. I'm just going to say that. Those are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.